Hi everybody, this is CA Balakrishna. Hope your preparation is going well. Basically this video is regarding residential status as per FEMA. Actually in the video of FEMA that I have uploaded earlier, I have been receiving many queries regarding this residential status. The concept that I have explained you in that video regarding residential status is residential status holds good, except at one point where the ICI has taken a different interpretation. But the interpretation that I have told you in that video holds good practically. So to clarify that interpretation, I am making this video. But however, even though you have not watched that video, you can understand the concept of residential status by just watching this video. Okay, I will be covering the entire concept of residential status again, differentiating between what is the view taken by ICI and what is the view that is followed practically in the practical life. Okay, but for the examination purposes, you have to follow ICI only. Basically in its examples in the study material, the ICI has followed a different interpretation regarding if a person stays during preceding financial year for less than 182 days, then ICI has taken some different view that we will be discussing now. Okay, apart from that, I'll also be covering the entire concept of residential status once again, so that it would act as a revision to you people. Okay. Oh, before moving into the concept, a small announcement. From yesterday onwards, I have started uploading MCQs on YouTube as well. Okay, in the community tab you can find the MCQs. Okay, you can practice them daily. I will be uploading 5 MCQs. Okay, even the same MCQs will be uploaded even in the Telegram group as well. Okay, you can practice them. You can find those MCQs in the community tab of our YouTube channel. Okay, with that we'll start with the concept of residential status. First of all, the residential status as per FEMA is completely different from residential status as per income tax. Okay, that is the first point. After that, under Income Tax Act, we will be determining residential status of a person to determine whether that person has to pay tax or not. That is the purpose of determining residential status as per Income Tax Act. But as per FEMA, the purpose of determining residential status is not to determine whether he will have to pay tax or not. Okay, under FEMA there are various transactions prescribed. Okay, to determine whether a person can enter into those transactions or cannot enter into those transactions, we are finding out the residential status of the person as per FEMA. Okay, that is the reason why we are determining residential status of a person as per FEMA. Now, under Income Tax Act, you will determine residential status of a person for each year. Okay, for each year there will be residential status of a person, but under FEMA, residential status will not be determined for each year. For each transaction, that residential status will be determined. Okay, that means on a day by day basis, the residential status as per FEMA can be keep on changing. Okay, that we'll discuss how it happens. That is the basic idea before entering into the into the concept. Now, as per FEMA, there are two types of residential statuses. First of all, one is person resident in India. We will be calling him as PRI, and another one is person resident outside India. We will be calling him as PROI. The definition of PROI is very simple. Any person other than PRI will be known as PROI. Okay, he will be known as PROI. Now, the definition of PRI, that is person resident in India, is important. Let us start it. See, first of all, I'll read it. After that, I'll explain you. We'll also understand this with the help of an example. Okay, see, one second. This is not working. Yeah. See, first of all, we are discussing definition of person resident in India. For a person to be known as person resident in India, this is the first condition. That is, a person who resides in India for more than 182 days during preceding financial year. Okay, that is the first condition. First of all, he should reside in India for more than 182 days during the preceding financial year. If he resides, he will be known as person resident in India, but does not include the following two. What are they? A person who has gone out of India for specified purpose. I'll tell you what are the specified purposes. But see, a person who have resided in India for more than 182 days during the preceding financial year, that is the first condition to be satisfied to call him as person resident in India. And even though he has resided in India for more than 182 days during the preceding financial year, he will not be called as person resident in India in the following two cases. What are they? A person who has gone out of India for specified purposes. If the person goes out of India for specified purpose, he will not be treated as PRI. He will be treated as PROI. Now, what is the specified purpose? I'll tell you. We'll also see the clause B. After that, we will see specified purpose. Specified purpose. As per clause B, you read it along with the first one. Even though a person stays in India for more than 182 days during the preceding financial year, he will not be known as PRI if a person has come to India otherwise than for specified purposes. Okay, if he comes to India for purposes other than specified purposes, he will not be PRI. But he comes for specified purpose means he will be PRI. Hope that is clear. Here you can find two negative terminologies are used. First one is does not include, otherwise than, which makes it positive. Okay, that means if a person comes to India for specified purpose, he will be included. Hope that is clear. Now we will see what are the specified purposes. Now I am just explaining you. We will understand this with the help of an example as well. Okay, at that time you will be able to understand it very much clearly. Now, what are the specified purposes? We have said that if a person goes outside India for specified purpose, he will not be PRI. If a person comes to India for specified purpose, he will be PRI. What are the specified purposes? There are three types of specified purposes. First one, for taking up employment. That is, he went outside India for taking up employment. If he went outside India for taking up employment means, will he return in 1 to 2 days? No, he will be outside India for many years. Okay, since he went on employment, therefore he will be PROI. That is the first purpose. Second purpose, for carrying on business or vacation. Okay, he went outside India for opening up some business outside India. He will not return in 2 to 3 days. Okay, it will take some years. So he will be outside India only. Therefore, he will be not included in the definition of PRI. He will become PROI. Next, third one, for any other purpose where stay is for uncertain period. Okay, he went outside India and it is not known when he will return. These are the three specified purposes. These three specified purposes will be applicable even for person coming to India. Let's say person has come to India for taking up employment. If he has come to India for taking up employment means he will not leave India within 2 to 3 days. He will stay for years together in India only. Therefore, he will be PRI, that is person resident in India. In the same way, person has come to India for establishing a business in India, or person has come to India and it is not known when he will go out of India. These are the three specified purposes. Okay, hope this is clear. Now we'll understand this entire concept with an example. See, there is a Mr. A in India and there is Mr. B in USA. Now Mr. A in India is entering into a transaction with Mr. B in USA. While entering into transaction, Mr. A will verify the residential status of Mr. B. Okay, because he is entering into transaction with Mr. B, he has to know what is the residential status of Mr. B to determine whether he can enter into such transaction or not. Okay, let us see residential status of Mr. B. How will A determine the residential status of Mr. B based on the conditions? See, first we are determining residential status of Mr. B. Okay, we are determining residential status of a person who is outside India. Okay, we'll see. First question that we will ask him is whether you, or simply whether stay in India during preceding financial year is more than 180 days. Okay, we will ask Mr. B whether you have stayed in India in preceding financial year for more than 182 days. Then there can be two answers. Yes, no. Let's say he said that yes, I have stayed in India for more than 182 days during the preceding financial year. In that case, we will ask him the second question, that is under the second. See, here he is outside India. Then we will ask him, why did you went out of India? That is the question we will ask him. Okay, Mr. B is outside India now. That is the reason why we will ask him, why you went outside India. Now Mr. B will say, went outside India for specified purpose. That means for taking up employment he went outside India, for taking up business or vacation he went outside India, or he went outside India and he doesn't know when he will return to India. These are the specified purposes. In that case, he will be PROI. Okay, since he went outside India for specified purposes. Okay, next, went outside India for NSP. NSP means non-specified purposes. If he went outside India for non-specified purpose means, let's say he went for a picnic. Okay, for a family tour he went. Once the picnic is completed, he will again come to India only. Okay, in that case he will be PRI. When will this has to be checked? Before Mr. A is going to enter into a transaction with Mr. B, at that time he has to check. Hope that is fine. One second, let me see whether the video is recording or not. Yeah, fine. Okay, that is the two answers. If in the yes case, if he said that I have not stayed in India for more than 182 days during the preceding financial year. Okay, I have not stayed. When the answer is no, in that case, as per ICAI, see, as per ICAI, you should ask further questions. Went outside India for specified purpose. Even though he has not stayed in India for more than 182 days, you should ask him whether you went outside India for specified purpose. Yes, he went for specified purpose. In that case, he would be PROI. This is okay. Went outside India for non-specified purpose. This is the query that people are asking me. In this case, ICI has said that you will be PRI because you went outside India for non-specified purpose. But in the practical scenario, since you have not satisfied the first condition of more than 182 days, okay, once you not satisfied this first condition, in practical scenario, okay, practically you will be PROI. Okay, once the stay is less than 182 days, you will not ask any further question as per practical life. But as per ICAI, for the examination purposes, you have to follow this. Okay, if you want to score marks, you have to blindly follow this. Okay, next, this is the case for Mr. B. In the same way, Mr. B will also check residential status of Mr. A na. Okay, Mr. B also entering into transaction with Mr. A, so Mr. B also will check residential status of Mr. A. Now let us see. Residential status for Mr. A. Mr. A. Even for checking, while checking for Mr. A also, Mr. B will ask the same question. The question is, stay in India during preceding financial year for more than 182 days. This will be the question will be asked. Again, same two answers might come. What are they? Yes, no. If he says yes, this time we will ask him, why did he come to India? Because here Mr. A is staying in India. That is the reason we will ask him, why did he come to India? But while checking for Mr. B, since Mr. B was outside India, we asked him, why did you went out of India? Okay, but Mr. A is in India, we are asking him, why did he come to India? That means for Mr. B, we have applied clause A since he was outside India. Okay, that is the reason we asked him, why did you went out of India? For Mr. A, we are applying clause B. We are asking, why did you come to India? Since he is in India. Okay, you can also note this down here. We applied for Mr. B, we applied clause A. I will use small letters. Clause A. Okay, for Mr. A, we are applying clause B. Okay, clause A, clause B means in the definition part you can find them. Okay, that is A, this is B. Hope that is clear. Now the same questions will be asked. The question is, why did you come to India? Whether you have come to India, came to India for specified purpose, that means you have came to India for employment, business or vacation or uncertain period, that means you are PRI. PRI. Or came to India for NSP. That means you came to India for non-specified purposes. In that case, you will be PROI. Okay, this remains as it is. The change comes here. That is the conflict between ICI interpretation and the practical interpretation will be here. If he says no, 1 second. If he says no, even then you have to check. Came to India for specified purpose. In that case, he would be PRI. Came to India for non-specified purpose. In this case, he would be PROI. Okay, but practically, once the first condition is not satisfied, practically directly you will be known as PROI. Okay, hope now your doubt is clarified. This is the entire analysis of the PRI definition, the person resident in India definition. Hope this is clear. That's it for today.